Hey there, guys. This is Flamzeron, aka YouTube's Tasuke, and now it's time for surprise number 2 of the Sony E3 thing, and that is Shenmue 3. That game that a lot of people have been kind of waiting for, that they finally decided to make. Um, how this happened, I'm not entirely sure. I think a lot of people just assumed that Shenmue 3 was dead. Like, personally, I think that the Final Fantasy VII remake was going to happen eventually, like regardless of when it was, if it was going to be on PS4 or PS5 or 6 or 7 or whatever. But Shenmue 3, like I'm just like, oh wow. Like when they announced it, I'm like, oh wow. And they kickstarted it, got fun within like a few hours, and it's more or less good to go. A lot of people really wanted it. Coming for PS4 and I believe PC. I'm probably gonna get it on PS4. And you're probably thinking, oh, I didn't know you like Shenmue. Like, I didn't know you like Shenmue, Mr. Tasuke. And truth be told, I wasn't really into it until now. But the reason why I'm kind of interested in it now is because, I know it's one of those classic Dreamcast games, and I've been kind of trying to build up a list of Dreamcast games I want to get, because currently I don't have too many on that list, like the Berserk game and Cannon Spike and whatnot. But I know Shenmue is like one of the top. One of the top Dreamcast games, and I've been doing the whole the samurai novel thing, sort of Kenra, and as I said in the Wheneverly update, I'm also working on another novel. I started a third, by the way, but so I'm writing 3 novels right now. Sort of, Kenra's like the primary one, with the other 2 more like more long term projects, but like I said in that last Wheneverly update, I did have an idea for a second novel, and that second novel is I'll go ahead and say it's more of a crime and mystery kind of thing. It's still set in Japan, but it's like a mystery kind of thing, and it's more about, it's like a crime story and whatnot. It's got some other themes with it, because from what I understand, the story of Shenmue is that the character Ryo, the protagonist, his father was murdered, and that's like the story. Like he's trying to solve the murder of his father, and that kind of intrigues me now. And because I sort of have that it interests me somehow. The Shenmue's interested me, and plus, since it's one of those cult classics, I figured I should at least try it. So yeah, I'm gonna try to maybe get into Shenmue as soon as I get the Dreamcast. I don't necessarily want to go in backwards, but it's kind of surprising. I think also it's just because of the shock of it. It's like, oh, it's now happening now, and now I want it, even though I wasn't entirely into Shenmue. It's strange. But yeah, basically, like, because I have a story that's set in a more modern Japan that has a similar sort of plot going for it, because mine is also like a murder thing. Of course, mine is different in that they're not, well, I don't want to spoil, but once you guys read Kenra and then you read this other one, you'll probably see some similarities in how I write it. But yeah, basically I'm now interested in Shenmue. And I'm doing some research on like what the best version is to get, because I'm thinking I probably should just get the Japanese voice actors, and they haven't really given any indication that it's going to be dubbed. Apparently, the guy who did Masaya Matsukaze, I think his name is, who did Hisui and Hearts, and I forget his name in Samurai Warriors. He was like the guy with like the blue and the rapier. He was one of the new people. He's apparently coming back to doing Ryo. I didn't even know he was Ryo. But it'll be I feel like they might go just the sub only route, because that seems to be a thing these days with these Japanese games. And with stories that takes place in Japan, I'm more okay with it. It's more when they don't dub like fantasy stuff that I'm more thinking, well, it would have been nice if you dubbed like Saint Seiya. But yeah, Shenmue. I'm doing some research. I guess I'll go ahead and ask you guys here, since I've got some people who like my stuff. So if any of you guys are watching this, here are some questions for you guys. Firstly, for the first Shenmue on Dreamcast, does it have dual audio, or is it just? I've heard. I think the North American one was just the English voices, and I heard the European was the Japanese. I don't know if I really want to have a series that's like partially imported though. I mean, are the voices really that bad? I mean, because I mean, if they're just the kind of voices where they just kind of stand out, I can kind of deal with that. Like if it's good acting, but the voices just stand out, that's fine. I mean, if the acting is just really bad, then well. And I know Shenmue 2 is on Xbox. I'll probably get it that version. Though I heard the Dreamcast European version is better, but I also heard that like the Xbox playing it on the 360 kind of helps with sort of like some graphical issues that it have. And obviously, getting Shenmue 3 on PS4, but yeah. So those are my questions, and I might ask on forums and whatnot. We'll have to see. I don't really have a good general gaming forum that I can go to, but I guess I could just ask on Facebook, but why would I do that? That's boring. But yeah, Shenmue 3. Since I'm writing a crime story, I'm now interested. It was kind of funny because when Vesperia came out and they announced that the main character's name was Yuri, I had a character named Yuri. Like, dang it! Now I don't like the name Yuri anymore. But now I'm just like, oh, I can kind of relate to it. Of course, like my story and Shenmue are different, in that I mean, they're similar in, trying to solve a murder. But it's different in that in my story, the face of the murder's kind of course, for all I know, Shenmue could have done the same thing. I'm just going to stop talking now. These last E3 videos, these past E3 videos that I'm doing are so scatterbrained and strange that. But yeah, Shenmue 3. If you want to like stuff, become a writer. That tends to help. All right, bye.